Hey everyone, David Coe at the Coe Real Estate Group. Hey, I hope you and your family and your friends had a great July 4th weekend. And with July 4th officially comes the second half of 2025. So I thought I would take a minute, pause. Let's kind of take a look at where the market is in the first half of 2025. And we're going to start off looking at interest rates. It's something that I think is pretty compelling when you're looking at the impact that interest rates have on the actual purchasing and sales process. This is taking a 1 year look and where we've been. You can see at the end of June, going into July 4th weekend, rates are starting to come down a little bit, which is a good sign. And when you look out at rates over a 10-year period, man, you can just see that right around December, January of 2022 is when interest rates really started to climb up over where this average was in this last 10 years. Look at the effect that this has had on the actual number of closed sales in the market. So this is all the way back in 2008. Really, this was the Great Recession. And as we kind of came out of there, transactional volume just seemed to moderate, right? Rates were pretty low. And then right around the same time, this is, the same time, January of 2022, you can just see how the actual number of transactions, this is indicative of the whole country, but in this particular graph and all these graphs we're going to show you, the blue line is Los Angeles County, the red line is Orange County. And you can look at just the severe drop in the number of transactions we have had. So the question is where are all those buyers and sellers? And the answer is they haven't gone anywhere. Everyone's just kind of sat tight, whatever situation they're in, and waiting for rates to rebound, which, there is some hope that that'll happen later this year. But let's start taking a look. I'm going to zoom back in here. Looking at the actual number of active listings, look at how much active listings are rising. So inventories are starting to build. Here in LA County, we've got over 17,000 houses that are available, at the end of June, and close to 6,000 in Orange County. And part of that is the fact that new listings are going out, but look at what's happening in pending sales in June, right? Pending sales dropped, really dramatically at the end of June. Part of that has been what's happening, economically in our country. Part of it is just some seasonality, but we are having listings. We are starting to see some inventory, and buyer activity has really been impacted. And the impact that's going to have on closed sales, we're not really seeing that too much here at the end of June. But I think when we go back and look at this in August, at the end of July, we're going to also see a dramatic drop in the amount of closed sales that we've had in July of last year. And then, as you might imagine, month supply is growing. Los Angeles County is at 4.6. It is becoming very, very close to a buyer's market. I would say right now in both Los Angeles County and Orange County, as inventories are building and the number of transactions are going down every single month, we are moving back towards a buyer's market. And I think one place you can really see that is when you look at the amount of houses that are closing below the original list price. You can see that in Los Angeles County, we are below that 100% line. Same thing in Orange County. And it certainly started to trend down in June. So certain houses that are staying on the market longer, and buyers are actually writing offers below list price and getting them accepted. So again, the trend in the market is that it tends to be moving more towards a buyer's market. But when we look at pricing is still holding steady. And in both LA County and Orange County, prices are continuing to tick up a little bit. So if you've been looking for a deal, there's probably opportunities that exist on properties that are out there that have been on the market for a while. But it's not like we're in some kind of free fall on a pricing standpoint. If anything, it's been more of a free fall just on the number of transaction standpoint. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you. As always, if you would like to sit down and see how this information impacts your situation or people in your tribe, well, we'd love to get some time with you or anyone that you know that could use some real estate help. David Coe, the Coe Real Estate Group. I hope this finds you well, and I hope to talk to you soon.